Hi and welcome to Spill the Tea with LLIB. I'm Cal.
And I'm Claire.
And together we founded the incredible platform that is Leading Ladies in Business, a platform that inspires and supports female business women across the globe. In this episode of Spill the Tea with LLIB, we're joined by Gemma Merna, a visionary leader and passionate advocate for wellbeing in the business world. Through her extraordinary commitment, she has transformed the lives of countless individuals, fostering a culture of holistic wellness and making a remarkable difference in their overall wellbeing. So, Gemma, spill the tea on what the journey as a woman in business has been like so far for you.
So, you know what? It's really funny when you say like women in business, because to me, what I've created with Mind and Wellness, it's just been my passion. So I'm still kind of getting my head around that the fact that I'm in business and I am a woman in business, because for so many years, you know, I'm an actress. I've basically been given a script. I learn the lines and create a character and then bring that story to life. So this is really new to me. And it's just been about like kind of just learning along the way. But yeah, I just think the only thing that kind of gets me through is just the passion. I think people can see how passionate I am about it, and that's why they want to be part of it as well.
Yeah.
So I think at the moment it's at a big turning point. We're having our first in-person event. I'm just getting like my first lot of merch done for everyone. So it's like, you know, now I'm going, oh my God, it is actually a business.
Yeah.
So it's a really exciting time at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about then how you got on into that business journey. What was that? What did that look like at the beginning?
So with Mind and Wellness, so I was in Hollyoaks obviously for nearly 10 years, worked as an actress, and I suffered from such a young age with anxiety. And then being in that sort of industry, I think over time it kind of anxiety, overwhelm, everything was it just become the norm to feel that way. And, you know, it was hard. It's a hard industry to be in. Yeah. You're always like at that compete level. Yeah. Everyone else is competing with you, even if you're not competing with them. You don't know who to trust. And, you know, so it's kind of, those feelings are just take a toll on you.
Yeah.
And then 11 years ago when I was still on the show, my dad passed away very, very suddenly. So my granddad passed away, and within 5 days, my dad died as well. So it was, you know, I'd lost my grandparents and that, but losing a parent, it does something to you, and it really did. And being still in that kind of show and you know, walking a red carpet and being so busy, I just didn't have time to kind of even process it or grieve. So I carried on within the show for another 2 years, and I felt like my anxiety just went horrendous. Like it went so severe, but I was hiding it from everyone.
Yeah.
Because again, you can't, back then, you can now, and that's what I'm trying to change. But back then, 11 years ago, if you shown that you were struggling, you were out the door.
Yeah.
They'd have got someone else.
Can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen.
Totally. If you can't cope with it, you know, I got told by one of my producers, get on with it. You've only lost a parent. Loads of other people have lost parents. Get on with it. We don't have time for this. So I was getting that response. So for me, I didn't feel safe enough to kind of share what I was actually going through. So yeah, I just kind of carried on and kind of suppressed those feelings for so long. And then within the 2 years, I was like, I've got to go. I've got to get out of this. Like, I can't carry my life on like this, because I was so like every day crying, going into work and stuff. So yeah, I kind of stepped away. And I was always into yoga from like the age of 18. And before I got in the show, I was going to go and do my teacher training. I just loved the practice, loved everything about it. You know, you get on your mat, you get out of your head into your body. You have to really focus to do a lot of the postures. And then you have the breathing that goes with it, which, because I'm a singer, I think the breathing I really enjoyed, because it's more like diaphragmic breathing. And then you would go to a meditation where you just felt like you were floating. So I loved it. So I kind of just got back into that, and it was like my own practice. And one of the teachers at the time that I was with, she was like, oh, the teacher training that I did in Morocco, they're running it again. And we just moved house and we were building a house. Again, that was stressful. So my husband was like, why don't you just go? And I was like, okay, see ya.
Bye.
But I hadn't ever stepped outside my comfort zone. I'd been in like theatre school, living with my parents, moved to Liverpool, got in the show, and moved, I came into the show with, the McQueens, who like my sisters that played my mom, and I hadn't ever done anything for me, I'd met my husband, like I never even booked a plane ticket or got on a plane on my own. Like when you're on the show, like if you had an award ceremony in London, it'd be like, right, that's your ticket. You get on a train, you get off a train, there'll be a car waiting for you, take you to the hotel, you get your makeup done, you walk the red carpet, next day, come back. And it's very much like follow numbers.
Yeah.
The night before you film all your scenes, right, you've got these 10 scenes, learn them tomorrow morning, you're in makeup at 7:30 till 7:30. So you don't realise that you kind of get conditioned into this way of life of just not having any confidence to do things yourself. You've always got somebody else kind of to lean on. So going to Morocco, doing my teacher training was like the first kind of step. I was there with like 26 people I'd never even met. Wow. And everyone thought I'd like lost the plot. Yeah. Everyone was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I went and did that, and that was kind of my journey to all this, because I was like, this is amazing. And I started teaching yoga. Loved it. And then kind of lockdown happened as well, obviously many years afterwards. But I just started to then put things out on social media. I wasn't going to, because I was a bit fearful.
Yeah.
And again, my husband was just like, just put a message out like on stories and see if anyone would want to do any classes.
Where was the fear coming from? What was that?
I've always had that. Like I've always never believed in anything I've done, never thought I was good enough. I've always had to kind of look for external validation. Even when I was performing, like if I was singing or acting on stage, I was like that person that my mum has to sit in the front audience and smile and go, you're doing all right. And then I'd push a bit more, and then I'd really like step into my own. Like I always needed people around me. I don't know if it's because I'm the third child. So I kind of got brought up with like a brother and sister who did everything for me. My parents did. So I think it's that. I think it was just that conditioning.
Yeah.
So no, I've always, as you were saying on the podcast, imposter syndrome. Oh God, that's like constantly had that. I think even when I was on the show, I was just like, I'm not good enough to be here. You know what I mean? It's like, what, have I done a good job? Have I done, always questioning what I've done. And it's took me to kind of now to really kind of stand in my own power and go, no, I know what I'm doing. I'm doing a good job.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to help other people to get to.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's pretty incredible. When you were stepping into the roles, did that change because you were sort of somebody else? You were...
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I don't really know, because Karma wasn't ever a real like strong character. I think I built her to be a bit stronger towards the end. Okay. She was kind of, not that type of character. But I think maybe it is just an actor type of thing when you speak to most actors. That's why they do what they do, because they're quite shy, like behind it all. But when they then step on stage, that's where they feel comfortable. Yeah. So I kind of had that. But then I also had like a character when I walked the red carpet. And then there was me. So that's a lot. Wow. It's a lot to kind of put these masks on all the time. So the past like 11 years, I've kind of been discovering who I am and what I want and the way I want to live my life and what I want to say. Because also when you're on those shows, like, don't say this, don't say that. Yeah. Oh, you don't say that, or you'll never get another storyline. You know what I mean? You'll be axed. You know what I mean?
No wonder you were living in
exactly. It's like the cancel culture. You know what I mean? You've got to be so careful. You're media trained. So that's nice. The fact that I run my own business and I can do and say what I want, and no one's kind of going, oh, you shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? So that's it's a nicer way of living.
I love that.
Yeah. So what's then the biggest challenge that you've had to overcome in business? And have you got any advice for our viewers around that?
I would say the biggest challenge is believing in myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Believing in myself and knowing that I can take what I've got I can take it to the next level as well. And I know I can help so many more people out who maybe have felt like me or, suffer from anxiety, overwhelm, depression, or any fears, phobias. I know I can help them with the work that I do at Mind and Wellness. If that's, being part of our membership, if that's the courses that I run, because I run courses on like anxiety, if that's, life coaching, if that's hypnotherapy, because I'm a hypnotherapist as well. Like, I know I can work with people for them to become the best version of themselves. So I really want to help people to realize that. Yeah. And that's my biggest thing, is me learning I could do it. So then I could help other people do that.
That's pretty incredible. So who's been your biggest influence in business and in life?
Yeah, I would say influence in business is my husband. He's always ran his own businesses. Yeah. And I think probably when we met, I was a bit like, oh God, that's really good. That's really nice to do. Like, because I always obviously work for everything I've done, I've always worked for somebody, and someone's always kind of told me what to do.
Yeah.
And I'd just seen this type of freedom where it's like, oh no, actually you can live a life where the way you want to live it, and you've not got that voice inside your head going, I don't really want to do this, but I know I've got to do it because I've got to keep XYZ happy.
Yeah.
And I think that was, that's been very inspirational. And I don't think I'd be where I am now without kind of seeing what he's done and that support as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's incredible. That's amazing.
It's seeing the possibilities that open up, isn't it? I think, and the freedom often comes at a price, doesn't it? Because it's not all freedom.
Oh, no.
There's still many hours that
totally.
go into working and to building something. Yeah. But the choices that gives you, and the flexibility to be able to live life on your terms, and actually, do you know what? I'm willing to earn less money this month if I want to go to here and there and do this, or I'm willing to put more hours in this month because I know that will buy me this at the end. And that flexibility is, is the freedom that lots of people crave, isn't it? And see when you run a business that there are choices. We don't have to be confined to a 9 to 5.
Oh, totally. Like, I don't work in 9 to 5. When everyone else is working, I'm running around after my dogs and sorting them out. Do you know what I mean? My work kind of happens like Saturday, Sunday. I feel like it's something, my brain just kind of frees up because it's not the week. So I will just literally jam pack loads of stuff in then and get prepped then for the week after. So then I can, if people don't want to receive anything from me, like the team or anything like that, I know everything's ready to go out Monday morning to them. So it's really interesting, but I will work when I want to work, but that's, that's because the business, it's not like at a point where I've got loads of staff and I have to, it's kind of, I'm in flow with my life and my business. Yeah. And I always want to kind of keep it like that. So I'm not in a massive hurry to grow it like a business. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not in a massive hurry. I'm not concerned about the financial gain. For me personally, at this point in my life, I'm interested in helping other people to feel better.
Yeah.
That's just my passion with it.
Sounds like you've taken a deep breath and you've slowed yourself down, which is so healthy to do.
Yeah, and it's redefining that level of success, isn't it? Success for you at the moment isn't about the financial side of things. It's about the people on the other side that you're helping.
And I think I think it's a really good point, that I think you've got to find and understand what success is for you, because I think we all live in this world where it's like it only comes down to finances, but actually 100%. It shouldn't be like that. It's very different. Like, I had that in my 20s. All you do, you earn more, you spend more, and that's it. You're at,
we actually said that,
you're in the same point anyway, you know what I mean? Because generally, you earn more, you're more unhappy because you've got no time, so you spend more on shopping sites, so you feel better because you're wearing it all. It's just literally a vicious cycle. So I just think, I think, there's different times in your life, isn't there? When I was younger, obviously that was, my aim. That's what I wanted. The older I get, it's just very different. And I think my business is very different because it's not, it's not a product-based business. it's literally working with human beings and seeing within 6 weeks or 12 weeks, they're a completely different person, and they can live the life, and they've healed traumas that have been holding them back all their life. And they're happier and they're smiling, and the relationships are flourishing. They're better at work. They're doing more. It's like, that to me is just, it's just the best feeling ever.
I love that.
Ultimate success.
What goals are you pursuing right now in business or personal life that you can share with us?
So with business at the moment, we've got our first in-person event for our members. So we've got that currently coming on the 23rd of this month in Manchester. So it's the first time that we've brought everyone together. So that's really exciting. And I have, like I say, I've come back out of retirement because it was just all online. And I've started to get back out there and like teaching and meeting people. And again, I was in a class the other day teaching, and I just thought, I've got so much more to teach people, because I just feel I speak to a lot of people and they're so unhappy, so unhappy. And when I was in that class, like, there's so much more I can guide people through to feel their best and become their best version. And so there's a lot of that. So I feel like that's, for me at the moment, that's the thing of getting out, getting in front of people, especially hypnotherapy. Hypnotherapy, everyone goes, I'm not having that. You've got control of my mind. You know, you can tell me to do stuff that I don't want to do. And it's like, it's not that. It's basically meditation with a goal. That's it. It's, you know, if you've got a goal of you want to release anxiety, let's release it through that. So I've been doing a lot more group hypnotherapy, and people are loving it. So I want to get out and do that more and try and make hypnotherapy more mainstream. So it's a therapy that people look at to go, this is really good, because it's the therapy that I had. You know, other therapies didn't work for me, but hypnotherapy did work for me.
That's incredible.
Hypnotherapy just didn't work for me, did it?
No.
What did you go for?
Well, I don't really know what I went for. Like, I was just
That's
going.
why
like,
it didn't work.
Yeah, you've got to want it.
Do you know what? I couldn't switch my mind off. She was like, find the bench with the trees. And I was like, oh my God, am I on the right bench?
Does she count
Am I
you
on the
down?
right she counts me down. But I think Claire says I'm not suggestible.
She's not.
I'm not suggestible. So
I think
maybe that's my issue.
I think the traditional hypnotherapy route that you went to the wrong person who did it sort of textbook way, where I think what you're saying, Gemma, is you're guiding it. I think who you went to maybe tried to guide you, where you should be very much in control.
Totally.
With
Like,
the goal.
if it doesn't matter what bench, if it's a bench of a beach, if it's a mountain
my
top,
issue. I'm like,
it can be
oh my
whatever.
God,
But it can
am
be
I the right one?
Whatever you want to be.
I think I'm a bit of a people pleaser as well. So I very much wanted to find the bench that she wanted me to sit on. So I was overthinking what bench I was on and whether I was on the right bench. And then, you know, can you see the trees? Oh my God. Right. Okay. Let's think about some trees. No, I can't see the trees. Can't see anything. Can't even see them on the bench. Like, so I think maybe I just wanted to please her
But then
too
also
much.
it's just the fact that whatever you think of is perfect for you. And did you have one session or more?
She tried twice and then I think she gave up with me.
I won't work with anyone unless it's 12 sessions. Because your first one, you will.
No one can find the bench.
No one can find the bench, a beach, or anything.
I can't find the bench in life, let alone like in.
That's why I say I don't think one session. You know, I understand some hypnotherapists market themselves on that. I don't. I'm like, no, that don't work. It's 12 sessions, and I'll slowly and gently guide people into it. And also you'll have recordings, we'll talk through things, we'll try and work through some of the thought patterns. So your conscious mind is just very strong, and that's what we want to try and switch off.
I think
you'd be a challenge.
She would be a challenge. I think we should do a live spill the tea, hypnotising Cal. Can you like hypnotise her to make the tea the right way as well? Like let's
I always
throw
make
that
it the right
in.
way.
Let's throw that in. But that's amazing. So that's business and what you're pursuing there. Is there anything in your personal life that you want to pursue?
Just to stay in flow. Don't ever chase the wrong thing. For me, it's like, don't chase finances. Like, just cut that out of everything. Don't chase that. That is not what my goal is to do. So especially personal life, it is just to kind of stay in flow, make sure I have enough time for me so I can do my own work and my own practice and develop myself.
Amazing.
And enough time for my babies and my dogs every single day because they come first.
I love it. And enough time to make a nice cup of tea, which brings us on to our closing tradition on this show where we ask guests what their preference is when making a cup of tea.
Okay.
So, Gemma, how do you make the perfect cup of tea if you were making it for myself?
You're going to hate this.
So I'll buckle in.
Yeah.
I'll find me
Yorkshire tea, Yorkshire tea bag, hot water, oat milk, and let it just brew slightly.
So you
and then
put the milk in
out
with the Yorkshire tea
Oh yeah,
bag.
yeah,
It's a clean sweep for you today.
I have done it.
Did
Yeah.
you
Pick the
these
best guests
on
in the
purpose?
honestly, and I
And then
haven't
you just
paid
got to let
any
it
of them.
brew a little bit and then squeeze it out a few times.
So we hug the mug, don't we, with the tea
Wow,
bag?
these are your own group, all of your own. So when you go for
But how do
breakfast
you
in a
know if
minute-
you put the milk in after you've took the tea bag?
You're just not
out?
heavy-handed with it, Gemma, is what it is.
How do you know how strong it's going to be? You might have to then put the tea bag back in to brew it.
Oh my God.
Don't swear on a
You've
cow.
taken it to a whole new level. You give me a sweat. Well, I just think that so you put your tea bag in the cup, pour the hot water on, and then you leave it for about 2 minutes. I do leave my tea bag in
But then
there
it'd
for
be
a little
cold
while.
2 minutes.
No.
She doesn't. She doesn't.
I do.
You don't.
I do. I just never make
I think
tea
we need to do a
indoors.
timer.
Yeah, it would be
how
about
you
2
make
minutes.
a tea.
And then don't tell me how I make my tea. I know my way. And then I squeeze it on the side. I remove the tea bag. And then I pour my milk in. And so as you're pouring it, because you're pouring it lovingly and not like in, like you can see the colour turn. You can see it as you're
No,
stirring
I'm not
it.
with that. I'm not either.
convinced.
And then
Sorry.
you're done. It's lovely. Try it.
No.
Honestly, once you try it, you'll never go back. It's that horrific method.
I'm not sure.
Just try
No, I'm not
don't
sure.
do it. Don't do it. 100%. Thank you for being such a wonderful guest
Yeah,
on
it's
the
great
show
till
today.
that point.
Sorry, I've stressed you out about the tea.
I'm going to go find my bench and sit on it for a while. Have a meditate with a proper cup of tea.
I love that. Thank you so much, Gemma.
Oh, thank you.